Yeah,
I just
why would they take out the? Sorry. Did they say they took out the crits for dungeon masters?
They said
they
that
did.
very specifically only players get crits.
No,
Yes.
that's bullshit, man. No,
Obviously,
no.
everything.
You know, you're dumbing it down. They're trying to make it more inclusive and more friendly. If you can't
I mean, it is.
like
It's
if
not
you
a bad
can't see your
idea.
character die, if you can't think of you can't accept the character dying, then don't play D&D.
I don't think that's a good absolute. Other people want to play for different reasons. Just say the way I play the game, the way I perceive the game, it's a little bit different from that. But with that being said, in general, the whole revamping system, it's only for those that will to try it. It's not final or anything. So maybe they'll change it, maybe they won't. But I was a little bit surprised to see that. With that being said, oh, go ahead, Zethro, sorry.
Yeah, I just think that's awkward because it's like one of Grave Cleric's like big things is that they can cancel us out or whatever.
I think they are going to obviously change all of that and whatnot. It's a weird line. Like they also gave skill checks and saving throws, success and fail, like critical success and critical failure. So you can now roll a 20 in success on anything. Anything is possible, and you can also roll a 1 and fail in everything. So there is something in there, I guess. But with that being said, this is still at the very, very earliest stages, so there's not much to read from. And we do have a game to get back to. Mm-hmm. Hopefully today Zeke will not be attacked by elaborate hackers that wish to sabotage his internet connection or fathomless greater one beings that live on a different time that does not have internet. And while Zeke was playing the game, they were changing a few stuff around. And I say that just to give a quick pass to the recap that is about to come. So whoever wants, have a run at it.
Time travel-y, timey-wimey stuff. Last time, Judas didn't trust the door, hit it, was annoyed that everyone wasn't as suspicious of this door as everyone else, brought up the fact that they could be using this door to come in and slit our throats, even though it was like down the hall and behind other doors that could be just as easily heard open. But as we all were made aware of this door, we decided to open it. Jethris, with some checks, managed to find the way in, noticing that the barrels in the room seemed to be oddly stacked, and how one was different to the rest, and pulled it. Oh, it was Nate. Pulled the barrel, and it opened an opening leading to a slightly cold cave or a tunnel. And instead of taking a short rest, as we were wont to do, or a long rest, we decided to go down into the area. And as we went down there, we noticed a very shiny pool of astral stuff. That upon inspection and upon throwing a flying snake into the center of it to see what happens, only to find out that everything kind of just floats above it. Zeke had some issues mentally taking all of this in, and went silent for a very long time before Oland appeared, showed himself at the top of the area, who looks suspiciously like a forge master from Castlevania series, and he came down and had a conversation with us and explained that, well, this was sort of here, and it was what the temple was built around, question mark. I don't remember the specifics of that entire conversation, as Regulus was very much just like, ooh, pretty lights, and was still floating around in the astral dust. Zeke had his own conversation to ask certain questions about what was going on, what this place was, why everyone was here, answers of which I'm not specifically remembering to the T. But after that conversation with this monk, we all went to retire to our beds, comfortably knowing that this wasn't the come and slit our throats tunnel, and in fact was astral dust tunnel, which obviously potentially also had a way out into the mountain area around, which would be handy in an escape, potentially. We all went to sleep, and when we woke up, we were all surrounded by hobgoblins in not the monastery, and we slowly came to the realization that we were about 500 years in the past. In the ruins of that temple, or monastery. Which seemed odd, because we were in the past. Why was it destroyed? Maybe it was rebuilt at some point in those 500 years. Maybe the temple's a ghost. There was some initial issues with us suddenly appearing in the center of their camp. We had a very tense conversation of trying to calm them down and make sure they didn't shoot us, and we would have to do a hobgoblin massacre, which potentially could be an us massacre if we didn't play our cards right. But with the offer of giving aid to some of their sick people, from Nathaniel, Regulus, Judas, anyone who could potentially heal, mostly Nathaniel, as he was the one who put forth the offer. But everyone, a good portion of us, have access to such magic. And Nate essentially found out that what had happened to these people must have been some effect of a creature or some other entity, potentially, that where they got the water from. Which was odd, because no one else here was affected by the water, just the people who went out. So we decided to help the hobgoblins in this situation, since we were not exactly having much choice, being surrounded by them. They took Goel as collateral, which is a very foolish decision, because I'm sure if he decided to, he could probably kill about half of them by himself, and still probably keep kicking afterwards. But as the group moved on in this weird and wonderful, maybe not so much wonderful, circumstance, we pushed into an area, a river area, where we were assailed by some weird creatures that I don't remember the name of, and found our way to hear a weird chuckle or cackle in the distance. And there was potential for a hag nearby, and we were just about to approach the hut that we saw off in the distance.
There was also a very weird sight that was reoccurring whilst you were fighting those creatures, those weird beings. From time to now, there was this sight that appeared like a mirage in and around you, as here and there, as also a shadowy figure. As those stones appeared, I think it was Jeffers that was able to determine that
Shatrix.
those, in regards to the stones, I was about to say, but I don't remember. I remember that Satrix was able to glean that, hey, Zik, this is probably your master. He looks alike. And she did mention that towards Zik. That was at the very, very end, so I'll give Zik the chance to truly respond to that. This will be our opening sequence. But I think it was Jethros, might have been Satrix. I do not remember exactly who was able to determine that these old stone pillars seemed like gravestones, massive ones, indicating the massive catastrophe and the death of many people. But gravestones, nonetheless, that would appear and disappear from this place in an instance altogether. It was Jeffers, indeed, as whilst this is happening, Nathaniel, do make me a nature check.
Okay. Nature. I don't think I have proficiency in this.
Well, that's fine. You are a monster hunter, though, so at the very least, you might have heard something in regards to those creatures. A 16 is more than enough to at the very least know their name. Those are Destrakan or Destrakan. I'm not entirely sure of the pronunciation, but for whatever reason, those creatures you are much aware. Usually, though aberrant in some sort of nature, they are home to the lowest of the underdark. They are not at home at the surface, first and foremost, and more importantly, they keep themselves very much onto the lowest part of the underdark. Those that are affected multiple times by the far realm. To find them at the very top, to find them at the surface, is a weird sight on itself. Albeit it is not unheard from others to try and use those creatures as pests, lacking intelligence. The creatures obviously have no set of eyes as they rely purely on echolocation, very potent hunters when it comes to that. As Nathaniel looks a little bit on those creatures that they seem out of place in. Here, Shatrix stands towards Zeke to inform him of his master. Shatrix would say something along the lines, Zeke, I don't know if you actually got a chance to probably see it, but I took a moment with this as I was affected by this time distortion around us. Anybody else hears me speaking robotic or not? Just to double check.
Fine for me.
Okay.
Hopefully, hopefully and sadly it might only be you, Jeffers, but let me know if it continues like that. As Citrix continues on towards it, I was able to see a little bit better during the time distortion that happened, that I was aged by an hour or something. I'm not sure how it went. The man looked very much like your old master mentor. I'm not sure of the correct term it is. I think it's Master Delron.
That'd be him, yeah. That's his name. And he was here, just all ghosty or something.
He was doing something to those stones. Sitensa looks towards Jeffers, who earlier on mentioned something in regards to a graveside.
Interesting. You have used just Arms of the Astral Self, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
I did pair it with the how's it called, the ability to see. Yeah, so I don't remember if that was 2 or 1 key. I don't remember exactly that. I think I deducted that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I deducted that amount.
Okay. That was going to be my next plan. I'm probably just going to move into the sort of center of it. and look around, I guess. I don't know what else I would do. Touch the ground, have a look, see if anything changes.
Make me a perception check.
Good.
I do remember, but it's much better that you do it right now, because I did that for you as well. Now you're doing it yourself, which means that I guessed correctly on what you would be doing. As when the stones appeared, you were able to see some of the names that you saw in the ledger back in the monastery. Amongst them, one of the names was Kali, one of the masters of the monastery. You were able to spot it in midst of all that. Your potent eyesight when using your astral self seems to help in, at the very least, getting a more stabilized view of the area before they disappear once again.
Callie was one of the names in the book, not one of the people that were there.
Kali was one of the masters that were there, the one that you probably talked to the most, aside from Uland, and there were other names that you remember seeing on the ledger. Potentially other monks, acolytes, or travelers, who knows. Indicating that people that were written there, amongst them one of the masters, are engraved onto those stones, which look, as Jeffries was able to mention, like gravestones, as some sort of a memento for them, memoir.
I'm going to turn to Regulus, since he's our veteran time traveler. You said that we've gone back in time, right? That's why we're here.
Well, I mean, yes, it seems that we've gone back, but I don't know the reason behind it.
Was bloody.
There's,
what is it?
well, not something that we might be able to use fast, but there is one being I could consult about it, but I don't know whether or not you would be cognizant of it. The one that sent me back originally, if she is sort of omniscient, I guess, but understands how it works, maybe there could be a reason behind it, but that I would require to be asleep for it. So, if we're gonna go at this next part headlong, we don't know how long we're going to be back here for, and it seems that the longer we spend here, the worse, the more we age. So we need to be careful.
Get through this quick then.
I mean, I don't know if it's possible, but I could try and use my last vial of astral dust to contact Leo Casty, and if that would work, I mean, I might be able to be carried along. I'll have to be unconscious while it happens, but
I don't know how long we're gonna bloody be here. I'd say it's worth a try.
Kaz, if I cast, this worked before with Nautilus. If I cast the dream spell and target someone, will I be able to be awake until the point where they answer, or do I have to immediately go to sleep?
I think you actually go to trance as you wait for them to sync with you.
Right. So either we stay stationary and I wait to hope that they answer, or someone carries me along. And I'll just have to be unconscious.
Does Sphinx ever sleep?
Well, I don't know, but they might be able to answer the call and just sleep. If she will know, if she knows about me, regardless of the time I am present in, then maybe she'll just answer it. I can't be sure, but it's something to try. And if it's going to help us in this situation, maybe. Oh yes, I will make a -1 history check for you, Kaz. Just give me that.
It's also important to
quick.
note that Shatrix seems to be the only one who was talking about aging a bit more, and I think she did it when she was in that little area down there. I think we're all right down here though.
I'm gonna
Back.
Kaz. I'm gonna
Christian?
assume that I failed that.
Yeah, you're probably 50 already, Zeke.
All right. I will use a sorcery point to reroll that. That's the best I'm gonna get. I ain't touching it.
I'll give you this, Regulus, and you remember when your father underwent the trials of Heliocasti? In the past times, Heliocasti was not a guardian over there, a celestial, not a celestial, but a being of celestial guidance. That is, though timeless, you are not precise if at that moment of time, those 500 years back, Heliocasti was at the temple or in the domains of the Yellow Gold. She might be at the temple, which in that case, the dream spell could work. But if she was not stationed at that time, the spell will falter.
In other words, to gamble.
Because you've heard from your father that Heliocasti was not always the guard of the temple.
Right. I don't suppose any of you have the sending spell.
I mean, I can talk to people from distances. I don't know what you mean. Jethros pulls out a copper wire.
Oh. Right. So, if I describe Heliocasti to Jethros, he can send a sending, potentially. And then, if he gets interference, we'll know she's on another plane. Pretty much.
Sending works across multiple planes.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, but he'll be able to feel that there was interference. Well, I'm talking about specifically the sending spell.
Well, I don't know what that is, but I can definitely do that. I can talk to people from all sorts of places. I did to talk to that Gith fellow.
Oh, right. I guess that'll work. I will describe Heliocasti in all the details. Sphinx name. I don't know how much. I guess all the stories that I've heard of her and met her herself. And I will say, if Jethros will go through.
I mean, if you want, you can also explain Heliocasti, because not everyone here knows who Heliocasti is.
I know. I don't remember specifically a whole lot, but
at least I know who she is.
Yeah, you remember very well because you also got your shit kicked out of you at the time. Right. Sphinx is a celestial being that aided me back to the other time, to the future. Oh man, this is gonna hurt my head after a while. She is a guardian of is in the future, guardian of a place of high importance, and he has a lovely way of putting people through trials and to get into this place of. This is also Regulus trying to be careful detailing the vault, because he's not sure if he's supposed to say something about that. And she is essentially just the guardian of that place, and offered for me to come back with God, I forgot her name. Pain. So much time ago. Melanie. I knew it was an M. I was just trying not to say Marinia. That would have been awkward. Yes, I came back with Melanie to try and help with the situation in Kesha. Because in my time, Kesha was destroyed by that weird giant astral undead creature. Think that's enough? Yeah, I mean, and our names, but thankfully Regulus doesn't know many of them. Shut up, shut up, Zeke. So if that's enough of a description, possibly just say the Tiefling Regulus wants to know if there is a way to contact you via the dream spell.
All right. Jethros will pull out his copper wire and put a couple bends in at the top, just putting creases in it. I'm not sure exactly where he needs to be pointing it, and raise it to his ear, and he will try and reach out, casting ending at third levels. Take heliocasting, and he will say, excuse me, Miss Heliocast. I'm here with Regulus. Shit, you probably don't know him yet. But he wanted to know if he could contact you via Arcane Dream. That's it.
A few moments after, a voice will be echoed back, Jethros. Your voice sounds much younger than it currently is. There's something strange in it. I am few years away from meeting Regulus. Truly. Indicating Jethro that obviously you understand that she is in the material plane and she is aware that this shouldn't be happening as it currently is. But obviously that means that Regulus could, if needed be, contact her via the spell.
Jethros coils up the copper wire again and sticks it in his backpack. Yeah, she said she sounded like she probably knew that like this is kind of fucked up that we're here. But she said yeah, she's here, so you can probably call her up.
Alright, well, at least she knows. Okay. And he's going to take out the vial of stardust. Alright, any questions you guys want me to ask? Towards this whole time problem shenanigans that we're going through.
How the fuck do we get back? Probably the biggest one.
Well, I don't really want to know if we need to go all the way to Anaris for that to happen, so I assume there's something going to be here, but hopefully there are some answers. I guess just describe how we woke up here, where we were at the temple, sort of stuff.
You sure, yeah?
Alright. If I don't get up for a good while, gently maybe pick me up and carry me along if I'm taking too long. If that's possible.
Yeah, sure.
And I will look to Zafira. And I will say quietly towards Zafira. I will say, if she just tries to get any of his blood on me, fight him, please. And I will take the vial of stardust, and I don't know if I have to drink it or. Last time you wanted to give me healing or lesser restoration, you said to drink your blood. So, Regulus thinks you're a weird blood guy. Do I drink the vial of stardust, or do I just kind of pour it out over my eyes and face?
I assume you're drinking, you're consuming it. This is the idea behind it.
Okay, I drink the vial of stardust.
As Regulus, you sift and change and disappear into a silvery mist. As soon enough, you shall open your eyes in a much different place.
Okay, this is a bit weirder than what I imagined was going to happen. Hi, Heliocasty.
You're centuries prior
Early.
to even your birth,
I'm
tiefling.
I'm centuries prior to my great-grandparents' birth, probably. So I don't suppose this is. I wanted to know, probably in your realm of possibility. We sort of. We went to a monastery for a bunch of monks of some astral skills, talents, focus stuff, and we went by a really interesting astral pool that was inside of underneath the monastery. When we slept for the night in that monastery, we all, me and my party, woke up 500 years in the past in a hobgoblin camp where the ruins of the temple that's supposed to exist in the future wasn't there.
Heliocasty stands and listens to all that you have said. I see path where you've come from, nor I don't see what has taught you. I provide answers to those that seek them, but not to those that are unproven. You will be given a task, time, for which is why I will send you back in time. But you are further there than you should be. You've strayed off that path. Unbeknownst to you, or not because you were willing, my knowledge to be shared is not without proof of worth. We are, however, confined in the presence of this domain, your creation. But my presence has filled it as how I perceive the world. You can see all of those clock-like mechanisms that have appeared everywhere around. Fighting it here is mundane, nor I can transport you somewhere else. At a certain point, your parents will come to me and will be asked to prove themselves in a series of tests. Only one of them can sustain in this place. So I offer you the same choice. You ask questions, but for those answers to be gained, you must answer mine. Answer the riddle correctly, and I'll give you an answer. Fail, and the answer will be outed from you.
Oh. Regulus knows he can't mumble in this place towards her, but mumble, mumble, mom was right, mumble, mumble. And well, right. So, riddles, then. Are the questions limited? Do they have to pertain to something? Or with my situation? Or is this a question that I'm asking and you're going to have to answer a riddle for me?
The questions that you will pose come after the riddles that I will weave for you.
Oh, right.
You are... She stops for a moment. She looks to your right. There's no one there, though. She looks over there. You are with others. You've been entrusted for their pursuit of knowledge. Though you cannot contact them, they see you, and through you, I see them. I have walked this place already. Maybe I can extend it a bit more. And as she kind of just makes this surrounding, the area sort of expands. You see more of those clockwork mechanisms appear everywhere. Though you do not see anything, you suddenly become aware a little bit more of your surroundings. Zeke, Judas, Jethros, Nathaniel, Cedrix seem to be standing around you. You cannot see them though, but you can hear them speaking. You hear Cedrix wondering, he seems in distress. I hope he's all right in there. Others seem to theorize on what's currently going on, but you can hear them at least.
Am I able to communicate with them?
For the rest of the group, you see Regulus, who is standing in a meditational trance. As he mumbles a few words and he wonders, am I able to hear them? You can hear that. That is on the other group.
What the fuck?
He spoke. That's Cedric's.
It's hard to explain right now, but Helio Cassidy has done some of her magic in this dream state. She has said that In order to get the answers to the questions I pose, we need to answer some riddles. And if we answer them correctly, she will give us answers.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys think that this is a good idea? I mean, I'm very grateful that she was able to connect us, because I'm not precisely the riddle person.
I mean, what's the penalty for failure?
And no answers.
I mean, then I guess
Out
it
of-
wouldn't hurt to try.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of be a waste if we just didn't do the riddles now.
Ah!
Begs to get the great sword. I don't think that's how this works.
Carson just chuckles probably. Basically.
Yeah, it just somehow like a sword just appears beside me. Well,
Considering the time continuum, that would be a bit confusing.
yeah, Soho's sword landing 500 years in the past when he's supposed to have it at that point. Yeah, totally. Right. Well, if we're able to, we might as well try. Do you need time to get these riddles, Yokasti?
Out of character, Regulus. Yes, I need much time because I did.
I know. I was gonna say.
I can do my
I thought-
RP with Zeke while that's happening. Then,
I am
if you want.
prepared. I think. No. I can work with this. I hope I can work at least. Heliocasti turns towards you. Very well, then. Once fierce warriors of the gods, now free of their servitude. The sight of their power is the sign of doom. Primeval forces controlling the storms. You're not mistaken to think them as gods. What are they?
I'm guessing you have typed this out.
In a second, I will.
Ta.
Didn't think I'd be getting this part again to Heliocasti trials today. To be fair, nor did you, I don't think, but
Honestly speaking, I don't even know what kind of questions she's basically. We're just getting answers. Damn it.
So Kaz, could you type that out potentially?
Yeah, he's gonna do that.
Okay.
In a second.
I think he's doing that actually. Yeah, so.
Did we get the out of game ability to talk about it like we did with the previous ones?
We are not in Heliocasti's realm right now, so noted entirely, but in character you are able to talk with one another, obviously.
Primordial. Oh, there it goes.
I'm so bad at riddles.
Aren't there 4 prime?
Okay, so one fierce gods, one fierce warriors of the gods, now free of their servitude, decided to pause.
Aren't there 4 prime primordials? There's like 1 prime earth elemental primordial, 1 prime fire elemental primordial, etc., etc.
The four
Yeah.
elements, basically.
The
Yeah.
problem I'm having is that so many different D&D worlds that you have them either come first or they come last. I'm not sure which, or they come after the gods. I'm not sure which.
Okay, keep it aside. The sign of the powers is a sign of doom. So technically speaking, and they said prime evil forces. So you're taking controlling the storm. So you have to think about what is naturally occurring.
Isn't it the elemental princes, the princes of the apocalypse, the ones that elemental cult tried to summon?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the Princes of the Apocalypse, but basically it comes, like Prince of Storm, blah, blah, blah.
Are those things gods?
Evil forces controlling the storms. Controlling the storms is a key term. So, what would a storm consist of?
I can a little bit, just to assist a little bit in regards to mechanics, because mechanics always are involved. I'm okay in each question, or in the questions to follow. I allow each character for one intelligence check. That can be history, a religion, an arcana check, whatever you guys think it would be more appropriate to give some sort of hint. And obviously, you can kind of just specify a certain passage if something comes to mind.
Is that one per question or one for the whole riddle game?
One for each character for the whole riddle game. So each character can choose in which question he can assist in a way.
Jethros, no, they weren't gods, but a lot of folks worship them, assumed they were gods or worshipped them as gods, even though they weren't actually gods. I think that's why it fits the riddle.
I mean, yeah, but if they were thinking them and they're not, then they would be mistaken to think they were gods, right? I don't know. I'm not all up to date on that religious stuff.
I'm wondering if they're talking about lightning.
Well, controlling the storms would bring forth an idea of a tempest, but
Well, that's the idea, because lightning, or rain or something. Because technically, the moment they're released from the servitude. The sign of their powers is a sign of doom. It's primeval forces. It's controlling the storm. It's people have prey to weather systems and stuff in nuclears because they consider them gods. They could so probably say natural elements or the elements.
I guess that's sort of speaking to like natural disasters. The sight of their power could be a sign of doom.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Natural elements, snow, or anything or snow.
Are you sure it's not the four primordials? They were heralded as apocalyptic, worshipped as gods. They were
the only problem
imprisoned and freed.
Yeah, the only problem is it's just like the sign of the sign of their powers is a sign of doom. Primeval forces controlling the storms.
I mean, weren't they
primevals? Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, weren't they heralded as harbingers of doom, the destruction of the world and whatnot?
I don't mind that answer because that's very quite aligned with elements. So
would it be a bad idea to utilize possibly Jeffress's arcane knowledge to maybe try and determine if primordial elementals are the driving force behind these things?
What?
I'm trying to explain this in a way that doesn't sound like out of game, but could Gethris, do you have any idea? Is there any arcane knowledge that you know of that might clue you in on what this means?
I mean,
you didn't know what sending was earlier, so that's weird.
Yeah. Well, I don't know all the names for shit. I just learn it.
Pretty sure it's the four primordials.
Sounds good to me.
But I mean, I'd be willing to burn my intelligence check if you want me to try and get us a clue. I think we should save Jethris's because he's got a higher bonus than a lot of us do. What do you think?
I think we could, using them to get at least good odds. This is right. Would probably be
Sure.
good.
Let's see. I've got a +4 in religion. I can do a religion. Try to think back, Kazan, if I know of any beings that were heralded as gods, that weren't gods, that were also heralded as a sign of doom, and also immensely powerful primeval forces. Try a religion check.
Go for it, Nate.
As well as the warriors of gods, like you said. Okay, I'll do that too. See, normal check. 16 gonna do it.
That's pretty good. I like that.
As you think for a moment in regards to your first and initial thought, the answer to this riddle, the four primordial princes, or the primordial arc elementals that existed, although they were never in service of the gods, they were created a long time ago and they were never in par with them. It more so speaks of some sort of monstrosity that has roamed since then free and is being worshipped as as a god. Not a single one, could be multiple, obviously, as well. Something more that exists in the physical world, more so.
Were dragons ever in service of gods? Is the group not DM? Because that's.
I guess they were created by Silver and
gods
Platinum
were,
Dragon.
Balamut.
Platinum Dragon and
because they do get worshipped.
Yeah, but they were, like I said, the sign of their powers is sign of doom, being more powers, controlling the storms. I'm still good. Oh, well, could it be
Dragons can do that.
giants?
Ooh, giants is a good one.
I guess
Once
giants are
warriors of the
worshipped.
gods. They were once warriors of the gods, weren't they? Now they're free of servitude. The sign of their power is a sign of doom. Primal forces controlling storm giants.
They're big.
Whoa!
They control storms. They
This is a rip on your character, man. No wonder. Good one, Kazan.
I guess they do have foresight, or they have like prophetic vision, so they can see into the what's going to happen. So they could have the sign of doom.
Or the other one could be Jinn.
So my clue, Kazan, was that it's some sort of monstrosity that's worshipped as a god in the material plane.
Probably so. Some sort of creature that is able to control the storm and is more so viewed as a herald of doom. The moment that you see something like that, you know you're fucked.
Clouds.
Well, yeah, dragons, genies.
The problem is genie are they're elemental, and dragons are dragons.
Well, this is a problem. Once fierce warriors of the gods. The problem is that literal sentence could mean anything. Because each god would have their own type of warriors. The problem is the warriors and the controlling of the storms. All the other ones, generally speaking, is not so much a problem. Dragons are the closest one, probably. Giants could also be considered. problem is with
Giants.
dragons is I don't feel dragons were fierce warriors of the gods. Giants fit that bill more. However, the sign of doom is, technically speaking, most people will still be pissing their pants if they see
Yeah,
a dragon or giants. Technically, both of them is a sign of doom. And controlling the storms, I would be leaning more to storm giants than I would be dragons.
Although dragons can control the weather in their
but also the whole
environments,
seeing them as
And-
gods. Like if you saw a giant, you'd be like, "That's what a god
Mm.
looks like." You wouldn't be like, "Oh, dragon,
Yeah.
that's a god."
Now, it's going to be great when we go, yeah, it's giants. And she goes, no, bye. Click.
And then or she say, "Damn, it's dragons," and then she says, "No."
Okay, I will.
Roll the dice.
I'm going to use my. I mean, we all know how that's going to go. I'll use my amazing power of understanding. Would it be a religion check to see if this is giant related?
Is
You
a
can make one.
Sphinx? Is this were Sphinx once warriors of the gods? Maybe she's talking about herself.
No, Sphinx were
No.
guardians, not warriors.
Um,
You use Sphinx to guard things, not fight for things. So technically
Empyrean?
speaking, you
No, they
no.
wouldn't be Empyrean.
I mean,
The thing
Red,
is, the
you're-
sign of their powers is a sign of doom. So I'm going, and prime evil forces. Storm Giant is prime evil. I
we
wouldn't
like to
consider
see.
Dragon. Natural 20.
Oh, fuck, alright. Highest I'll ever roll?
That's not an advantage. As Regulus, you do get a glimpse of that as well. However, once again, giants do not fall under the category of warriors that were created by the gods. They were not creations to be soldiers, to be foot soldiers, be something like that. And aside from the storm giants, the others don't seem to be on the correct spot for this. But you're not wrong to think of something of the Tempest domain, something that is closely associated with it, controlling storms, massive, something that would be worshipped as a
What about a
god.
kraken?
Kraken
Were
do that?
Kraken created as? I know that they're big. They're worshipped as gods.
Now, Kraken are elemental monstrosities of the plane of water. They're not technically considered. They weren't created to be warriors.
I mean, that
The
tracks,
problem is
though.
that's what I'm saying. That
They were
sorry,
worshipped before.
sorry. Yeah, but the problem is once furious warriors of the gods. So the point is that once fierce that warriors of the gods. So they were created as warriors for the gods. Avatars. Wouldn't Avatar be? No, Avatar is of the god, isn't it?
Oh. Well, if they're warriors of the gods, wouldn't they? Maybe they're a celestial. Did any gods? Are any celestials able to control the weather?
Yeah, so let's. Oh, that might be it. The sign of their powers is a sign of doom. Primal forces controlling the storm. I hate that primal forces. That one is throwing me for a loop. But primeval forces might just be meaning is forces before the dawn of time, rather. So
It could literally just
celestials would.
be storm elementals.
I'm liking celestials.
We're gonna burn all of our goddamn things here because we're not gonna want to pick an answer that we don't just immediately fuck it up. But
Celestials kind of feel close to it.
I mean,
Super
Kraken.
The problem is the other problem is now free of their servitude as well. Fuck it.
I mean, Kraken fall into the same boat as primordials. They're a primordial creature. They're an elemental.
Yeah, they're not. They come from the elemental plane of water. They're considered basically like Fey Lords in the sense of power range.
But they're also
Hey, Lords?
monstrosities.
I don't know that.
Which does make them.
I do like krakens. Yeah, they're monstrosities, which
I love
also
krakens.
aligns with that.
This is so difficult because free of servitude, lords of hell.
No, I don't think so.
What has been given their freedom and are extremely powerful?
I don't know. I haven't read all the books.
Yes, same.
No, dude. No, I'm seriously. I'm also just racking my brain. This is freaking on the level of the freaking worm that walks. A riddle.
What?
Their cousin knows what we're talking about. Another riddle he once threw at us.
Maybe it is in the realm of celestial.
So give us, what is the two hints that we've got, you guys?
Well, it's the two hints are it's not the primordials, so it can't be anything elemental pretty much, or the primordial gods, the primordial high primordials. It can't be anything giant related because it didn't track. It made sense why they would, but it's not the answer. So,
but it's something that came into this plane of existence that are considered gods.
Yeah, but if they released celestials into the world, not all of them still. The problem is that so many things could be released, and a celestial could be released of their servitude.
We got 3 out of 5 votes for Kraken so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is correct.
So we just have to convince
one more.
Regulus and Judas that the answer is Kraken.
I am almost sure it's not Kraken.
I am adamant that it's not Kraken.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm 100% certain that it's Kraken.
Okay, wait. Do you wish to hang your hat on that one? You get that one. I mean, everybody in my books gets that.
Are you asking Nathaniel to like make a wager on it or something? I mean,
no.
You're wrong. You die.
No. You as a player.
Me as a player.
Yes.
No, I never gamble.
No gamble. It's just that I will agree with you, but if you're wrong, you're not going to hear the end of it for a bit because I'm just going to pull your leg like continuously. Every time something goes wrong, I'm going to say something like, "Oh, is that a Kraken?"
Okay, well, hang on. Now you've gone and you've laid out terms if I'm wrong, but what do I get if I'm right?
If you're right.
So you've laid out the downside. Yeah. What's the upside?
Oh, me voting for you. Else I won't.
Oh, that's not even worth it.
You just get that either way, though. I'll hang all 3 of my hats on this if it gets the story moving on.
Oh,
I don't want to get the story. I don't want to get the story moving forward if it means wasting this vial of dust.
Nah.
Yeah, I really don't think it's Kraken. But I don't really have much choice if people are saying it's Kraken.
Well, can I make is it possible to make an insight check? I'll just pop it out here as well. And does it sound like let's see. It says does this sound insight regards to let's do an insight check regards to do I believe it's possibly anything celestial or demonic related?
That would have been either a religion check, but you would burn your assistance. If you want to do it, you can go for it.
Religion check. Oh, well, let's see. Probably know anything. I know fuck all. I believe it's a Kraken.
Take my inspiration.
Okay, let's use this inspiration first.
As you hear those words, Judas, it doesn't seem like something of demonic, fiendish, or celestial origin seems to cut it for you. Nothing celestial or fiend.
Well, then, honestly speaking, then Kraken might be the best guess. Because fuck knows, I don't know what's going on.
There are a million monstrosities in this goddamn book, and we don't have access to infinite knowledge on that. So, at this point, it's probably just better for the group's mental health to just say it and hopefully get the answer right. Because if it
Yep,
gets
go for it.
Kraken,
Your words carry wisdom and are true.
Let's go. Good job, Nate.
So phrase your question to me.
what is the most likely way we can return to our time?
Something was stolen, something was taken. Returning it where it came from, repairing the damage, will mend the bridge for you to find your path. Regulus, the word repairing the damage does seem to suggest, let's think, a little bit in regards to the rift that you saw back in the Hobgoblin Cup. That was taken from there. What could Hilocast be talking about are questions that you probably fill yourself with.
Right. I guess the next question is how do we repair the rift?
Before you ask one, you need to answer one of more of my riddles.
Well, at this point, we're just going to see if it's possible, so if you have another one.
Put a strain in you. Allow me to ease it a bit for you. 6 are the kinds, as the main 6 of the order. Small mountains to climb till you reach the storms. Through pebbles and ice, you wield the same force. Of what am I speaking?
Giants, right? I don't fucking know. Isn't it giants? Got hill
Could be
giants.
giants. Yeah, how many giants are there?
Storm giants.
Hill, storm,
Hills,
Fire.
I don't know.
fire.
Pebble giants.
ice.
Ice giants. Ghost giants.
Well,
Yeah,
the main
hill,
types.
stone, storm, cloud, fire,
Ice.
Frost, yeah.
and
That's
frost. Yeah, that's 6.
I'm pretty sure giants.
Pebbles and ice, that must be stone giants and frost giants, right? Storm giants.
Small mountains, hills.
Mm.
Yeah.
Small
Giants.
mountains must be hill giants.
That's pebbles and ice. Through pebbles and ice, wield the same force.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
Yeah,
we all
because
think it's
pebbles and
giants,
ice,
right?
they
Yeah.
both have the same
Yeah, go for go. Go for go.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for
Yeah.
giants then.
Jethris is gonna yell into Regulus's ear, not knowing how loud he needs to be. I think it's giants.
Ow. I can't even reach up to rub up my ears. We think the answer is giants.
I think that you are correct. Phrase your second asking of me.
How would we seal the rift? Or repair it?
Something was heard from the sky and struck that ground. In time, it would repair itself. Instead, it was removed. Something was called in this place to fix it or change, and now is not there. It is being kept away. This object is the key bridging that gap. Based on the word in Regulus, you can tell that it speaks of some sort of an item that should belong there, yet it is not. Finding that item is the key to bridging the gap and essentially going back.
So, in layman's term, we find what caused it and bring it back to the spot?
That is what C seems to glimmer.
Okay. I would just say this isn't one of the questions, obviously. What this isn't the question. That's what I wanted to say. How many questions am I able to ask of you? Is it how many riddles that we can answer, or is there a limitation?
How much you can take more on is the only limitation that exists right now. Though I should warn you to not await forever, for your quarry might be plotting against you.
Right.
You have everything you need to lay your path up ahead. If you wish for one last, I will entertain it. But you need not more proceed.
I have a question that I've been thinking about asking. It's only come up now, but I'll answer if I can have one more riddle. I want to see if I can get this question answered.
Very well. The works of an artisan tailor, a gift to his 3 sons before they embark on a journey and live to study the magic art. The first one studies the ways of the arcane, using the magic to help people for no personal gain. The second one studies the ways of the dark art, but soon there will be no love, no beauty in his heart. The third one tries to carve a path of his own, not good, nor evil, just wants to be alone. The gifts of the tailor now alter the hues. One white, one black, one grey, all with a use. Of what am I speaking of?
I have. I mean, I think I have the answer to that one already. Potentially, but I don't know if Regulus would know it. If that sort of lore is to his knowledge. don't know, Kaz, can he, I guess it's,
What's the question?
There.
question, well, there, on the side.
I mean, what is there's statements there.
Um,
That's all statements.
what am I? I forget the,
Of what am I speaking of? What am I
Of what are
speaking
you
of?
speaking? Okay, that's that.
in reference to the sons or the works? Robe of the Archmagi.
I'm thinking the first one is a bandage.
Is there the works of an artisan, tailor?
The works of a tailor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's more than one, right? It's not one work. Isn't
Well, I
each
mean,
one?
I think there are different robes of the Archmagi. There are
So
different ones.
each of the works of the tailor is a gift to his three sons. Each of his three sons studied each of those things. So it'd be something that a tailor would give a healer, something a tailor would give someone who studied the dark art, and something a tailor would give.
Oh, it's wizard,
It's
warlock,
Wizard
sorcerer.
robes.
Yeah, wizard,
Yeah,
warlock,
they're
sorcerer.
They're
Which
the
I think,
robes of the Archmagi because they are used to every class. They're used for each one of those.
yeah.
Or robes.
Sides.
Magical robes.
So, robes of the Archmagi. Is my answer.
In times to come, your father will solve this one as well. Now ask me of your question.
At this point, if I'm speaking out loud, can I speak to only Heliocasty for my question?
I
Or
assume you say that in order for Heliocasting to kind of just let the influence of the others disappear.
Yeah.
The last thing for the group to hear is, as Regulus mumbles, this is a more personal one, or something along the lines. You can phrase it however you want, Regulus.
Yeah.
The realm shrink a little bit.
I don't know if this is the question you can answer, but when I return to my time in the far future, through your help, when I'm done my task, will the Zeke, Judas, Shatrix, the Jethris, Daniel, all the people I know from now, will they be the same as the time I go back to?
Is this time where you came the same, the one you left? The spirit that you summoned should tell you the truth. As the spell fades.
Regulus will open his eyes, or I guess he'll blink away the spell as he was meditating. Right. Well, I suppose let's get on to the main event. Getting back to where we belong.
Before we do anything, while Regulus is still preparing the spell, Jethris will approach Zeke.
Flashback.
Zeke, interesting thing I was thinking about. If you don't mind me asking.
Kind of depends what you're asking.
Yeah. Your guy Delron, did he like have the same sort of weird, creepy arms as you?
Kaz? I don't think so, right?
He should, yeah.
I
Everyone
think
in
so.
Humanity, everyone has this warped, nearly not demonic looking, but sinister looking appearance. Delron is not different. He's just a little bit more advanced from where you left.
Right.
I'll assume.
They all looked a little bit similar, yeah.
Oh, I thought. Were the monks in the temple that we met, or in the monastery that we met the other session, did they not have different ones? That's what I was thinking.
They have like green, less sinister looking ones, but
Yeah,
they're
that's what
not.
I was asking. I got confused because you said all of them had them. Well, it didn't seem
Just to make certain, the monks at the monastery all had normal looking arms. They did nothing sinister in their appearance. Delron, who is 6, one of his masters from his monastic ways, did have also as well those sinister looking ones.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I asked that feller up there, and he didn't say anyone like else had that sort of thing. So I don't know. Maybe was there anything different that Delron did for you? I
mean, I'm not really sure. Once we got up there, it kind of changed itself. I didn't do nothing. It just started acting different. But I haven't really been taught by anyone else other than Delron and the other masters. I've never been to this monastery. It's a little bit different. I was just traveling on the road.
I don't know. I just thought it was weird. I like yours is all creepy and well, not evil looking, but
Cheers.
And everyone else is pretty normal.
But mate, I know as much as you do about this. This is all new to me as well.
Yeah, just something to think about if you got any ideas on it soon enough.
I wish I had the answers.
That's it. That's all I had to say. RP over.
Good night.
Why don't we go?
Goodbye.
Why don't we go take this hag out, or talk to her, whatever it is we're gonna do. What do you guys think?
Oh, sounds good to me. Gets us the fuck out of here, or at least closer to it.
As the group sees that there's a task up ahead of them, and they have been warned with some questions, to say the very least, you start the way to advance toward the upper part of this mountainside.
Is our escort still around, or did he take off? Or she? I don't know if that was a male or female, but did our hobgoblin escort take off?
The hobgoblin standing toward there as you start moving up forward seems to have settled in there, keeping an eye towards you, but does not seem to be moving further. Keeping obviously an eye in the vicinity, he can spot and look towards you, as with the dragonel he's able to look from around and from the distance. But he seems to be dreading to move forward after what you've said and other whatever it is that he was tasked with. Maybe he's prohibited of joining you over there, but he's sure keeping a close eye towards you. And your road up ahead continues. As you see, the very top, a hut of what appears to be a path filled with scarecrows standing on the way. On top of them, multiple crows that are just keeping an eye towards you, crowing on you again and again. You just hear the noises of those little birds as you approach, keeping an eye towards you.
Mm. Well,
Satrix moves a little bit up closer, turns to the rest of the group. I remember one time back in Blackburn where we had to fight against creatures like those. They were animated. She grabs her sword and her shield, and her shield more so, not her blade right now, to be at guard, as the scarecrow does not seem to be moving.
ominous.
As the crows start making their noises, you can see even more up ahead, because it's just like literally an alarm system that is going on a frenzy. So many crow noises as up into the distance as this cacophony of sound fills the area. The road ahead of you is foggy, to say the very least.
Jethro's gonna give Zeke a little jab in the side with a bell branch, casting protection from good and evil on him. Here you go, partner.
Presume that's a good thing. Cheers.
As you take a few more steps advancing there, the cacophony will suddenly stop in an instant. All of the noises go numb. A woman comes out of there. Oh, the only thing though you hear is her voice as she will be quick to ask. Oh dear, it seems we've got guests. Now, who comes here to see an old lady on top of this desolate mountaintop?
Hello?
Come on, approach. The fog is dense. I cannot see you down there.
Alright. Jethers will approach slowly. How you doing this fine day?
Oh, I'm doing all right, doing some cleaning the place around. There is no one else here. She chuckles with this groaning sound as she pets the crow that stands, the raven that stands on her shoulder. A sign of you, my dear. Don't take offense to that.
Oh, alright. Well, we're looking for like I think a lady up here, we think might be able to help us out with a few things.
A lady? Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, young lad. My name's Hilda, but I am not a lady.
Oh, no?
An old woman standing over there, a hermit. I am not in the business of harming anyone, just buying my time in this desolate top. I'll tell you though, there are no ladies here. You must have the wrong place. You do though look tired and exhausted.
Could have fooled me, and Jethers will give her a lizard wink. And keep walking.
Mind telling us what you are then?
Name's Hilda, young lad. Oh, what would I give to have your years back again? This old body is tiresome. Up in here, I live in this mountain top, surrounded with little to no company. Oh, don't worry, dear. You are my favorite one. You know that. She struts the head of the raven on her shoulder.
That's a pretty decent question, that. What would you give to have our youth again?
Hypothetical, I guess. I don't really know. I've never entertained that thought. Is it possible? You know, of a way, I'd be majorly interested.
Guess we'll keep an eye out for that then.
You want to come in? Have a supper? Have something for you? I could entertain some guests. It's been a while since I had the last of them. Can't even remember when that was.
Not too sure we're going to be staying that long. Got a little business to attend to.
Forgive me if I'm prying over, but what kind of business would such a youthful, beautiful group as yourselves have right now that would be more enticing than a place to sit and relax? You look awfully tired. That's not a good look on you. Although I do seem to be fond of it.
Well,
Chuckles.
I think our business would bring us into your abode for maybe a couple drinks or a bite to eat. There's a place down the path down there that is a bit wonky, let's say, spiritually or magically, and we were wondering if you had any idea what the hell was going on with that.
Well, I am not sure of what exactly it is that you mean, but perhaps my hearing is failing me.
Insight.
Go for it. As Judas, I think you have to be within 60 feet, but you're probably about the range. Yeah, you are about the range. That is an undead fiend celestial. There is nothing of that kind in the area around you. Just let me double check. I
Oh,
think.
yeah. Yeah, no, because they're considered fey, aren't they?
Well, hugs in general, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's always weird. I think they need to update this one to include that. No, I get it's extremely evil, not extremely good. Yeah, gotcha.
In regards to that, Jethro's, it is hard to glean or gain from this conversation, as indeed what Nathaniel said seems suspicious, though the words of the woman, at the very least, seem to be polite, at the very best.
Do I smell a trap? Inside check?
Roll me an insight check. The way the questions are phrased, the way that the woman talks, for sure, is, to say the very least, fitting on the description you were given by the hobgoblins. But so far, she hasn't seemed like she has sinister intentions or something against you. No sign of a trap based on your gut feeling, I would say.
Probably doesn't seem like she doesn't seem threatened.
May I ask you at least to leave your silverware on the cart over there? I, I, I would not barge in the house of a guest with much weapons, and indeed they seem soaked in blood. Well, we can have them washed, if you wish. That is only polite.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, seems rather deplorable now too. And Jethris will drop a dagger into this cart. um, Jethris would like to shake the bell branch, I guess, just to make sure.
What does it do exactly? Just remind me.
Oh my gosh, let me. First one. Fey fiends are undead within 60 feet if such creatures are present.
Ooh.
Don't have to.
Jethris, you grab the bell branch and shake it a little bit as it makes a soft noise. The scarecrows are obviously constructs, and she indeed is a fey creature. She looks toward you as you do so. Interesting twig, this one you have.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's best that we be honest completely with each other at the very least. I know that you're not what you say you are, and that we're surrounded by creatures that you seem to be trying to keep under wraps.
So, what am I exactly?
I don't know.
Just out of character, quickly, guys. We're basically the hobgoblins want us to get rid of her, correct?
Yes.
And just curiously, and regards to our silence with the Sphinx, our method of returning to our current time is.
You need some sort of item or object. Go ahead, Regulus. You probably explain it better than me.
Oh, we need to find something that caused or essentially broke that space underneath the hobgoblin area, sort of a rift. If she has it, then we need to take it from her.
Well, Miss Hilda,
Interesting.
you're sorry, God. I was.
No, Jeffers is correct. Uh, Madam, lady, person, whatever, Hilda, whatever you want to call yourself. But the truth be told, we are currently in a situation where is that we want to return to a certain time and place. Unfortunately, we require some things. Now, technically speaking, we went passing here. We woke up in this location where there were hobgoblins, and these hobgoblins don't have very good relations with you. And I'm sure you probably don't have very good relationship with them. Now, considering our situation, we definitely do not care regards to this relationship between you two. However, therefore, it makes us free agents regards to who we wish to help so that they can help us return to our time. So basically, it comes down to do you basically have something to help us close a possible rift in time so we can return to our time?
Um,
No, that is a conversation, a type of conversation that one probably would enjoy most after some supper. But the question also lies is, where do you stand? Are the hobgoblins the one that will make the decisions for you? Or will you?
well, Miss Hilda,
Or go ahead.
sorry. Miss
Go
Hilda,
ahead.
I'm not sure exactly what you are, but what you could be is either a help or a hindrance. Right now, as it stands, from what we've gathered, there's something happening with those folks' water supply that's putting them into a sleep that I happen to know some hags can put people under. And that's not very nice.
Well then, are they truly nice too? Were they nice to you?
I don't fucking know. Not really. I mean, they're Amboses. I'm not really on any particular side. I'm just trying to get back to where I was. I'm just laying down the facts. Unlike you were trying to do at the start of this.
Oh, no, no. You have it all wrong, my dear. I have tried to do the exact opposite of the hobgoblin so far. I have only tried to get into your good grace. I've offered you a place to stay and rest for a bit,
I just like
as we
honesty.
discussed further.
To
Have
sort of
I
raise,
have I lied to you yet?
Judas kind of says, looks at her and says, "There are ways to ensure that no party lies, which I could possibly in tune or ask my use to make sure that no party lies. However, that would basically be a slight breach of trust and hospitality between us. So, considering the situation, how about a compromise in the sense that some of us stay out here washing and cleaning the weapons, and some of us go inside to enjoy your hospitality and continue the conversation in regards to our mutual assistance in, say, relieving the hobgoblins of their situation and returning us to our time?"
Oh, I like that. Do I get to pick who stays out? Please tell me I do. She then turns and focuses her gaze towards Satrix. You look lovely, my dear. But as uh, the one wearing that twig has already determined, and that is a painful sight to me. So, could you stay outside? It would make my day whole a whole lot better. Shatrix turns towards Judas. I don't mind staying outside, keeping an eye on the weaponry, so there's no sketchy shenanigans. Goel is back at the camp, imprisoned, well, held
Oh,
in captivity
yes.
by the.
Yes, he's being held as a
I mean,
hostage, I remember. And Judas will tell the rest, any of you wish to go inside and parlay, or do you wish to stand outside and uh, wait?
personally, I'm starving. I'd love to go in. It's fucking cold up here.
Yep. That's one vote. Zeke, Regulus, Nathaniel.
I'm trying to find out whether Regulus should try the antithesis strategy that one of his uncles used against a hag. Just be a ray of sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, I'll stay outside here with Satrix and need to clean some of this weaponry and such, and you guys go and have a quick talk. Once you organize the situation, we can go and. I kind of don't like this time period, so to speak. Feels wrong.
Sounds good to me.
I'm not the talkative type. And I'm afraid if I go in there, I might just bash a skull in, so I might just stick out here.
Good plan. You give me a Zeke. You can probably tell me, do you have some of that wine or some of that spirits with you, and we can have a bit of a share while we wait for them?
Mate, I bloody wish I did. I've been tapped dry since we got up that mountain. Been quite some fucking time since I had some.
I've got something. I'm not sure you would like it though. It is a bit of a quiet taste.
What is it? Gives a shot.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Regulus goes by. It's probably blood.
It gives him a bit of a flask.
Alright, cheers. I'll take a swig of it.
Blood whiskey.
Steph, yeah, you weren't kidding about the acquired taste, but if it does the job, fuck me, that's irony.
Yes, family recipe. Uh, but it seems you handled it well. At least it's mostly alcohol. Mostly.
That's the important part.
I mean, Regulus is going in, unless he was barred for enter because he looked, because he
He has
Looks like a
flowers
pretty
in his
boy.
hair.
Yeah, I'll go in with Regulus.
I mean, I think he still has the flowers in his hair, and that he smells
I
great.
mean,
Yeah.
it's easy for me to sound Shatrix out for being beautiful and everything because she's also not here. But that would be very, very good of me to do if a player wants to actually repeat this here. So, not doing that on regular. So far, I see Jeffrey's, Regulus, and Nathaniel that wish to go in. Just to make certain, Judas and Zeke, you're staying out.
Yeah, we'll just be cleaning, talking crap.
It's going to be awkward when we get sent into a demi-plane and 3 D8s and or 2 D8 casters and D6 have to fight a hag alone.
Well, the situation here is in the sense that to basically make sure that all our eggs are not in one basket, and you can support us or we can reinforce you depending on the situation.
Or we could just go in and talk.
Oh, exactly. So that was actually our hope. Shows that we're peaceful.
Well, let's send in the two talkers and the wise one, wiser one.
So
As
Ironically, I think I'm probably the best talker.
okay.
as you start to move inside, Hilda will greet you. Come in, come in. And we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back for the next. Oh, wait. Just to make certain, Judas and Zeke, I've given you some small tokens here so you can observe, see. Regulus, do you wish to leave Zephyra out so you can use it for communication with others if needed be? By flying around and doing stuff like that, not by talking or anything like that.
I mean, she can talk. I just can't talk to her.
That is correct. So, if you want, you can leave her out to be with the rest of the group, but your call entirely.
Yep. Zeke gets a scaly scarf.
Flying snake, please.
Oh, this is way smaller on the inside.
It is a two-story building, and you can see there are also other rooms.
Does she have enough crows?
Well, she likes to count them from time to time.
Hey, it gets pretty lonely in the mountains. I'm the judge here.
Man, this is like the opposite of a cat lady.
Yeah, it's cool.
I can just imagine trying to sleep. Caw, caw, caw.
It's white noise, dude. It's like how people like going to sleep to like dishes clattering together.
You know how far away hear a crow, let alone be in the same room as it, same house. Pain.
Regulus.
What?
Did you see that? Gave you.
Part of.
Why are you whispering?
The DM inspiration.
I don't know if you can give them out.
Oh,
Why
well,
are you whispering?
usually like when like you have one and you like do one of the what is it called?
Recap?
Recaps, you can give it to someone else. So I just thought I could give it to someone else because I'm full.
Yeah, usually.
Oh.
You just need to clarify that with the GM beforehand.
Oops.
But that's usually, yeah.
Well, I did say that. So.
Oh, there you go.
Man, I love seeing the fact that one D&D is getting absolutely blasted on Twitter. Half of it's good, half of it's a lot of people who are not taking they're not taking it well. They are saying that racial features and abilities are essentially perpetuating some form of societal racism /
No, please. Are
whatever
you
have
saying
you.
your usual Twitter crap?
Essentially, and they were saying such things as having racial mechanics and features is
Racist, inherently racist.
not
stuff.
racist. Some of them are saying that. Others are saying that it shouldn't be, whatever. And then someone brought up a point. I'm not sure if it's an agreeable one, but it's the point of a greyhound is always going to be faster than a corgi, but they're still both dogs.
That's awesome. That is an awesome. Actually, that is fucking well done.
Also, people aren't lizards.
Yeah, I mean, it's this thing like, an orc. I think the problem is that they're flailing around trying to say, well, you can't have
It's a fantasy world.
Yeah, they want diversity, but but the way that they're going about it is to get rid of the diversity that makes them each different. And every time I see someone mention so what you're saying is you don't want any cultures of these various different cultures to exist when you're trying to say you want the cultures to exist. And as soon as someone says that, the other person doesn't say anything back, and I presume that they get blocked.
Oh yes, no, because cognitive. You cannot target the person's cognitive dissonance, else basically their brains explode and they just basically go blank wall and just block you. Because technically speaking, I like the corgi and dog one because that's kind of funny. It's like similar to that thing where people say, "You can be anything if you put your mind to it." I can't be a Hussein Bolt. I wish I could be Hussein Bolt. I can think I can be Hussein Bolt, but I'll never be Hussein Bolt.
I'm on the side of Tasha's away, because at least with Tasha's, if you give a reason as to why your orc is skinny and faster or more wise, even intelligent, that is much better than that's not, I guess it's not much better than the original way, but the original way still is a little bit.
There was the whole point of it is there was, I remember the whole thing, and this is where lore and fantasy and a world that's been created and all that thing comes into place. There was a reason orcs were freaking feared and scary, because they were generally more warlike and stronger. It's like barbarians, It literally, if they're going down this route, the next road would be basically there shouldn't be any classes because all classes are equal type of crap.
The
That's
thing
will be the next
I
route.
don't know. I'm interested in the new, because they released the UA, and it has some interesting changes. They're obviously, anything that they release is optional, right? You could run D&D on the original books, you could run them without Monsters of the Multiverse, whatever. You could run them pre-Tasha, with Tasha, and the new system that they are testing, obviously, is all races merely no longer get ability score improvements. It is down to background. So if you are a cultist background, you get intelligence or wisdom or whatever it is, and you also get a feat now. Most of the backgrounds carry a feat with them.
Yeah, but that doesn't work, Reckless, because what if I want to be a muscly or a warlike?
Yeah,
cultist?
That is exactly what I said to Kaz when I messaged him today. I'm like, what if I wanted to be a swole cultist?
You can. So you can completely customize your background.
Yeah, I know, but
it does track because you're working your backstory into your ability scores versus your race, which actually I think that's definitely an improvement, right? Because I mean, someone whose backstory is that they spent their whole life in a monastery versus someone whose backstory is that they spent their whole life climbing mountains, it makes more sense for you to give that character a strength score and the other character an intelligence score, right?
But that's a different. The thing we're going for is, you totally agree. I think there is systems. I think, what was it called? Wheel of Fire, and a few other systems literally work with the system where you're working your background in the sense that You say, well, I grew up, my first part of my life, it was as a hunter's son, and you do this and you do this, and then it gives you stat score increases or something like that. The
I
joke
mean,
is what we just pointed.
regardless. Oh, go ahead. Go
But
ahead.
what I'm trying to point out is what we probably would be saying is you're basically removing. So it's going to get to a point is because you're working. Okay, so certain system. It depends on the system you're working with, right? If you're working with a system that has a certain amount of dice that work with a certain mechanic, which basically D&D is with attributes and is a dice mechanic, D20, right? Then technically, uh, if you want any of those choices
Now Zeke is totally protected from the good and evil that lurks outside, as inside the rest of the group moves in. Regulus, Nathaniel, and Jethros all decided to enter the house of Hilda, as quickly surrounding you, you will notice one thing. So many ravens, all kind of just turning their face, cowering towards you, as Hilda will say, I am sorry for the mess of the place. As onto the other side stands a mirror over there, a mirror with a stand that seems to be gleaming with quite an unnatural brilliance, though spider webs seem to have been created and weaved to the sides of it, indicating that it has been a long time since it was set in here. On the other side, you can see multiple chairs among some books here, some sort of sofa, as well as some furniture for guests. You can go in, settle in if you want. I'll be there in just a moment. Any preference in what you will be served? I do not have much, but I can make adjustments on the very last moment.
Mm. Not water. At least, I think. My thirst is kind of quenched. Thank you for the hospitality, though. Arthur sits on the sofa.
Well, she looks towards Regulus and Nathaniel. Come on, settle in. The chairs won't bite you.
Regulus has doubts. They probably will. As long as they're not mine carts.
I'll be just a moment. And Hilda moves to the other room, as I'll give at the very least a glimpse towards Nathaniel as he's standing there, as Hilda moves in and closes the door behind her. The crows seem to be standing right all over you and kind of just keeping an eye towards you, in a way making you slightly uncomfortable on their own way. Kind of just moving to the sides of you, Regulus, kind of just grabbing your hair a little bit.
Jethro starts counting the crows.
That's a game to play.
I pull a lilac off of the bouquet on top of my head, and I offer it to the raven.
Is my token on the map, Kazan?
It is.
Yes, over here.
Yeah. Yep. So I let me try reloading.
Does the crow accept my gift, Cass?
It does not, nor that it seems to neglect you, more so just seems uninterested in it.
But just interested in pecking me.
Just making you uncomfortable.
Hellish rebuke now.
I don't see our host.
Oh, well, she went back to go get some refreshments.
Mm.
Come on, take
And
a
it
load.
won't be long. Go ahead, Jethros.
No, I was just telling him to sit down.
You do have, however, a moment for yourselves in there, if you will, to be doing something.
It is a hag's house after all. I'll stay on this side of the door for now. Is your bell branch ringing at all, Jethris?
Oh, I did that earlier. Yeah, she's fucking ringing like a bell tower over there. Since she's not in the room, Jethris is gonna poke himself with the bell branch, knowing that probably she can see him anyway. He's gonna give himself protection from good and evil, and Zeke loses it. He's no longer protected from the evil outside.
Nathaniel, do make me a perception check.
You got it. I don't suggest you guys eat the food, by the way. All right, perception.
You do have advantage, though 23 is already enough, just to keep an eye to. So roll me once again, I'll take the higher one.
Sure.
From your draconic senses. Indeed, much better. As Nathaniel is standing towards there, you can... obviously, the amount of ravens in this place and crows is quite a number, but you also notice that there is a basement down below. You can hear sounds from it, and bigger ones. Whatever it is there, it might be way bigger than any of you here. Something rather large or nearly huge might be in the basement.
And this is a grate here on the side here. I'm assuming that I can look down it.
Not really. This in front of you is for you to leave your shoes.
Oh, I thought it was a grate in the floor. Okay. All right. So
No,
that's
no,
a
no,
shoe
no.
rack. That's a
Yep.
shoe rack. Okay.
See all of those different shoes. But yeah,
Okay.
this is you are very much aware to a massive presence down below. Nearly you. It's not like you hear words or anything or thuds. It doesn't seem to be moving, but you can hear a very faint breathing. But to be able to be heard from where you stand, and the volume of it seems, or rather, big.
Okay.
As Hilda will be quick to come back with with a bowl of stew and a platter filled with cookies onto her hand. As oh, come on, go ahead, go in. Your friends are waiting, and I'm coming to serve you all.
After you, my dear.
Such a gentleman. I dislike hospitalities as such. Stands on the door as a couple of those ravens kind of just move around, grab the platters of food, and bring it closer towards them, leaving some cookies down below next to Regulus, in the chair next to Regulus, and the stew next towards Jethros. Hilda then moves into the room and grabs a few cups from the cabinet over here to serve Jethros, Regulus, and turns towards Nathaniel. Do you want some?
no,
Before
thank
any of that, Jethris would like to sniff the stew. Does it smell like there are any children in it?
You can make my nature check
Will do.
to see if there are children in there.
Mm.
No children whatsoever. As you look towards this stew in front of you, though it definitely has a very meaty substance and the smell.
Jethris will grab a bowl of it.
I didn't see any livestock or crops out in her yard. I saw an empty field and a pen with no livestock. Is that correct?
That is true. That is true. That is true.
All right, so she's not actually growing or rearing any food, but somehow she has this bowl of stew. Okay.
Very much. In regards to crops, you might have sown a little bit of wheat and stuff like that, but up to that amount, like not really crops like vegetables and whatnot.
Right. What were you saying, Nathaniel?
Nathaniel actually turns to Reg. Reg, I think you have the most clarity on what it is exactly that we're trying to accomplish here. Maybe you'd care to lead the conversation?
Oh, no, my dear, that would be me. What is a hostess if it cannot guide entertain a conversation with her guests, that is? Come on, sit by the fire. You'll warm yourself up. Hilda moves a little bit closer towards you and grabs you, Nathaniel. You can tell that she's unnaturally strong, but then again, that is the case for all hugs, which is not different for her.
Take a seat
And
in this chair here.
She stands right next towards Jethris. Ah. Well then. It seems to me that you have been in a bit of a pickle in here, haven't you, with your own time-traveling shenanigans? I have been waiting for some time for one to come to this place and time, to this spot. Let's call it like that. It's been years.
Yeah. Well, who you're waiting for?
Well then, it might just be you that I've been waiting for. Only time will tell. Time. Such a weird word. You think of it as a constant thing. And then you find this place. You start to question the meaning of things, don't you?
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's not everyone's first time, but
Now I am living my way up into the desolate peak like a good old pattern, and then there's go hobgoblins come and ruin it for everyone involved. It's become horrendous and annoying to say the very least. They don't know much other than fight, 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 swing, 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 arrow, arrow, arrow. And the wizardship they do is pathetic, to say the very least. My ancestors would puke if they ever seen some of them cast spells. The way they do, it's unnerving. You, on the other hand, seem much more interesting. And they have not treated you well. It seems to me we share more than one thing in common. A dislike for those hobgoblins and getting out of this timeless prison. You don't want to be stuck in here for more. I was young when I came in here.
And what hypothetically would you wish to obtain in return for us getting what we need?
But that's the most of the simplest of stuff. I need nothing from not a possession, not anything from them. My magic has been doing the trick slowly, for I have no other way to do so, but excruciating. And an opportunity has arisen with you. take advantage of this. See, the hobgoblins are staying in a place that is integral to this place. Something that resides over there, some sort of energy, influx, some sort of focus. From what I've gathered from my good friend over here, she once again not pecks, kind of just nozzles against the raven side. I understand that this is the key to all of this. I'm trying to scare the hobgoblins out of this place. Once they move, then I can see to it that I'll be out. And maybe I can take you away as well for the ride. See? I told you I'm not the bad one here. The only thing standing between your way of going back is those people standing at the very doorway. After all, my only wish is for me to escape this as well.
Is there a way that we can do this without harming anyone? Or scaring other people off of a mountain?
Don't believe the hobgoblins will let us mingle through them and practice magic that they could not fathom in any way, shape, or form. Nor they would allow this without any prize for them. Unfortunately, the narrowed minds leaves us little to no choice. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go execute them all, though it would have been handy. Just cut them off, and we can get to do what we all have a common goal. We share something in that.
Jethris is going to get another ladle full of soup, having finished his, and we'll say, do you mind just indulging me in a little story? How did you come upon being trapped, as you so say, in this timeless place?
See, I've come to this place to lair a little bit further than those of your kind. Nothing personal, truly. More so their ways, let us say, disturb mine. It's best for both of us to stay in different locations. In my desolation, I found this place innocent. I scream, I say. By mistake, I was trapped here. One of my own doing for sure. But accidents happen. Should I staying there just for stepping my toes onto a place that has been warped by something elder? I'm sure your Orcus friend has told you all about this place.
And what's the deal with the shit down there? That little ruin that keeps popping in and out.
That is a glimpse of what is to come. Something that, from when you come, it might have already happened, but not right now. There are other places that in the area. As said, those that stay a while in this place experience it quite a lot. Pops in and out, as it is there, and then it's not, as if time passed, and then not again. I suppose it's some sort of ritualistic site or some mass grave. I can tell you, though, that there are no bodies below it, only the stones.
Hmm. Maybe it's symbolic at most, or perhaps it's experiencing the same thing we are, only a bit more tempestuous.
As you probably know by now, the monks have been into some ways a little bit strange, to say the least. If it weren't for them, we would not all be here now, would we?
The monks.
Yes. Isn't that what your orcish friend is?
But you're saying you've met them before.
Oh no. But they speak for those that will to listen. I've seen glimpses of them. In similar fashion how you saw those massive stones.
Hmm.
There are other areas that have been afflicted by this area of effect, this weird nature.
Interesting.
It is them that they started it, after all. In the ways, the trancing, the medication, and all that. You truly know nothing about them.
Are you asking?
Inquiring, that is.
I mean,
I was under the impression you one of them was your friend.
that fellow out there seems to have some sort of training, but I'm more along for the ride. I don't know. You know, one guy tries to fucking break down a door, and now we're back in time. So I don't know if it's them or if it's something else.
Well, what else could it be?
Regulus, do you know?
I don't really know, to be honest, what the best course of action here is.
Oh dear, you seem to not have taken a bite out of those cookies. Are you not hungry by any chance after that long walk? Your body seems frail. I suggest you eat some.
Yeah, I mean, the stew's great.
Oh,
See?
my apologies. I'm tell by my uh, physique. I'm not much of a really heavy eater. I do appreciate your wonderful hospitality, though.
Isn't that how you say nice?
Yes, it is very nice.
Well then, it seems that we are in agreement. It is settled. We can take care of those hobgoblins and then we can walk a magic and get out of here.
Hmm.
Right? I think we were all in agreement of this. Does not seem to be a reason why we shouldn't.
I
Just
have
to
a,
be clear, sorry, go ahead, Regulus.
I do have a question though. Um, what pray tell do you intend to do once you get back to a time in the future? Because, you know, we're going to end up in a spot that might not be the most advantageous for you.
Wouldn't you like to know? But
I would.
anything would be better than this place.
Ooh,
Dreams are all up in the horizon, sweetie.
But my only question is, why not just move down the mountain? I mean, you're not really at any disadvantage. You probably have a very long life to live, and there won't be anything you lose or gain from going forward or back. You probably could this for a very long time.
You tried getting out of this place on foot.
I mean, I don't know how your abilities work, but I'm assuming that there's a way down the mountain.
Oh. Sweetie, once you are inside, you are inside. There is no outside. There is only now and nothing else
so wait,
other than that.
Miss Hilda, you came from. Were you here originally, or did you come from the future or whatever, from time shit?
I came from another time, I can tell you. I came from northern from here, from the kingdom of Midland. But once
Are
a
you
step. Go ahead.
are you saying we're no longer on the material plane?
You are. But if you try to leave, the warping that happens. I can't say that it is not a nice sight, but it might have been crude for you. You might have seen some when you've come here. Long-limbed, enlarged creatures, face peeled off, eyes stuck inside. You cross that path, you might as well be joining them. Who knows? Maybe the ones you've killed were you all along. So don't try to run.
Maybe it's I wonder if it's keeping you here. Just I don't know, Regulus. It's I don't know anything about time shit. But maybe it's trying to keep whatever sort of timeline on track or something.
Oh, there is a very good possibility that if you suddenly appeared as a problem for the hobgoblins, there's a very good idea that potentially you were sent back here by something. Maybe you made a misstep and pissed off the wrong being, and you came crashing down, landing in that spot, and you were the reason that this place is in such a bad state.
Me? Oh, you think highly of me to being the reason behind all that. No, 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 no. Do you know how the monastery fell?
No.
It would be a lovely bit of information to know.
Well, let's save something for dessert now, shall we?
Yes, but if we intend to help one another get out of this place, it's best to know all the details. Dessert is typically held last, and last isn't something that we can work towards without knowing what we're gonna the main course.
Make my persuasion check, Regulus.
All right. Sorcery points.
Go for it. Also, at a certain point, Nathaniel, you wanted to intervene, so if you want to add what you wanted to say, go for it. I'll reply to Regulus in a second.
Ew. Not sure I like
Oh,
it
no,
either.
it's okay. Go ahead.
Is that a failure too, guys?
I will let you know in just a second. it is not a failure, as she looks towards you. Very well, very well. Not like these are my secrets to hold. Just keep in mind that I am willing to share. Now, the needs and greets of all of those details do elude me as well. But all of those monks seem to have a certain worshipping attitude towards, not against, when they name the first, the Lord, Fendu. The name ring any bell?
Does it?
Anyone with proficiency in either navigator's tools or survival can make me a check with intelligence.
Oh,
I used
I
to.
will. I have a +2 to this check. 22.
Okay, as Jethro's, you've heard from other sailors, you've seen in the map, but very scarcely. Onto the star sky, sometimes there is a crimson star that gleams into the distance. That the sailors call a Fenrir. If you see it on the night sky, you do not want to be traveling towards. Those are folklore and myths and tales of legends. It is associated with disaster, destruction, in general, bad things.
Yeah, I mean, a sailor I cleaned out a while back was talking about it, but it's a fucking star, right?
But truly are stars, they are astral bodies. Into the astral sea our thoughts find themselves, materialize, and create what you reckon as a star. I don't know the full story, but apparently this Afendu was quite of importance to those monks. And it left a lingering mark here for those that will to call out to him. I should know. I've tried to understand it as well. Didn't give me insight, just stones.
Mm. Alright. Well, again, I don't know anything about all this, but I like the world I came from and how it is. Eh,
Can you
obviously we're not supposed to be here, so maybe if we all went back, the world would stay the same and not have all these weird fucking creatures walking around in it.
Go ahead, Nathaniel.
Can you remind me how it is exactly that the hobgoblins are preventing us from leaving?
We are standing on a ground that it is not theirs, and you must have seen it if you've been to the camp. That broken chasm into the ground that leads, that glows with astral energy. Now that,
So
to me,
what
looks
you
like a door.
what you really need is access to the astral pool, not necessarily the death of the hobgoblins.
Oh, for sure. And now, the death of so many creatures would be a nice sight to be seen. But I'm not going to ask you to do such a bidding. It's a crude sight, not for your stomach.
Okay, I think that answers your question from earlier, Regulus. I think you had asked if this can be done without killing people.
Right.
Once again, Nathaniel, at this point is where you hear some more sound from down below. To an extent that Jethro's regulars, you as well can hear this some sort of movement or a small quake in the whole place.
Right. Well, we're on a timer, and I think we should get out of here quick.
Who's in your
So-
basement?
Oh, just a friend. Don't worry. It's a bit upset. It will be better once you leave.
Will your friend be coming with you when you return from this prison?
I'm sure it will try. But I have no plans of joining them. They are a friend to be kept in the basement. That is all they are.
Kaz,
Go ahead.
while this conversation is going on, is it possible for potentially Zafira has been invisible and she can just kind of be like that all the time? Can she
Sure.
take a look around the outside and see if there's any windows to the basement?
You will notice that the windows are closed, not barricaded, but they are closed. This is a very close, tight space, and it has that odor, though, the space that doesn't seem to have much to offer. Aside from the chimney and coming through the flames of the fire in here, I don't think she would be able to intrude inside the house.
Well, I mean, in theory, as long as she could get by the hag, which I don't know might or might not have blind sense or true sight. She's immune to fire, so she could make it through the chimney if needed.
You can make me a stealth check if you wish for it.
Wait, she maybe not. Let's see. Immune to fire. Oh wow, I'm looking around here. Victor Zafira. Yes, immune to fire and poison. So she will, I suppose, try to make a stealth check and come down.
Mm-hmm.
She has advantage because she's invisible.
Go for it. Zephyra flies and tries to go inside there. As Zephyra flies floats in, it makes a little sound, but still manages to move towards there. You notice a faint movement as he's trying to be as silent as he can. As Hilda just points vaguely toward the direction and says, "Oh, I wouldn't be doing that. I don't think I need to roll the 98, but I will just for the sake of it." I'm pretty sure Zephyra goes unconscious and drops to the ground.
Just barely.
Let's see, check if she was somehow immune to unconsciousness, but I don't think she is.
Now, what have we here?
No.
I don't think that helps either. And I don't
No.
believe there's a creature with less hit points than Zephyra.
Yeah. I mean, the ravens.
Zephyra just... Yeah, but they only cost one each, so... Though you will notice, regulars, that they did not fall asleep. Zephyra, though, does. Ooh. She grabs Zephyra by the tail. What have we here?
My companion. She obviously was getting concerned about me. And
That's
you
so.
have a very locked door, I believe.
Could have knocked. She grabs it from the tail and from the front, from the head. Not trying to harm it, but still it's in a dangerous position for Zephyra to be, as he has the creature over here. It could have not, or you could have asked. That does not show good manners.
Yeah, I mean, regular Steven have that thing potty trained yet? I mean, like, just kind of barged in here.
Well, she's not used to having such hospitality by such important host.
I see. Well,
Usually treats my safety above anyone else's.
well, it would have been a shame to let this little incident go to a lovely talk, and she kind of just grabs it from the end and hurls it towards you violently enough to deal I'll do a d4 of damage. Zephyra, but not more than that. Like a single point of damage.
I give her resistance.
As it strikes there.
Does that mean resistance? She doesn't get any damage because it's
Sure, it's more of the effect rather than anything else. No.
Anyway, distractions aside, do you mind if I meet your friend? I'm always curious to meet new folks.
I am under the belief that this one you would not like to meet. If you insist, I shall show you. Then there is no going back from it. I would not be to blame.
Alright, for now.
Yes, much better.
Well,
Will you be staying the night or traveling back?
oh, are you not coming with us?
I'd rather not walk into a trap. Though my friend here can watch an eye over you, and
Alright.
I have a better way to keep an eye. Would you, one of you kind people, entrust me with something of their possession? This way I could know once you are done with your mission, and we can get going.
Are you the one responsible for the curse on the hobgoblins now?
Now, we will not play coy. I am indeed, but only as a means to scare them. Should they wish to leave this place, then the magic might wear off, and they'll be forever better for it. I didn't know a group like you would come along the way to be used in my advantage to further and fuel my and your return.
Perhaps the hobgoblins would be willing to grant you access to the pool in exchange for lifting the curse?
Oh, no. Trust me that those hobgoblins would try and kill me on sight. For their own martial prowess and their ways of fight. They know that creatures like I, women like I, are not to be crossed. And they will, the moment they try to tame it. Rest assured that I and the hobgoblins don't bond well. We've tried numerous times to enter this place. So far it has not worked for them. A pity. Some of them do adorn the decorations of my basement.
Huh?
She puts her hand on the top of Jethro's head. Don't you worry, my dear. You eat your stew and you'll be fine.
Alright.
You're gonna make one mother proud. A lot one day. Very much.
Oh, okay.
Jethro says you feel a numbing sensation. There's something in the stew as you gotta just bletch a broken tooth. Oh, sorry. Was that in there? Didn't see. Please, allow me to
Alright.
clean that up.
Jethro just shrugs. Alright, I mean, just like how mom used to make them.
She grabs the cup and the broken tooth and moves. I'll be just a moment.
Yeah, I think we should get out of here. I don't know if you guys agree. I kind of look at Regulus and Jethris as she leaves.
Uh, I mean, if you don't want her help, maybe I could try and figure something out. Since we know now that we can try and use that gateway, but Jethris just sort of looks at all the crows. I mean, but I don't think
I
there's any
mean,
way of being quiet about that. I think.
we know what she wants. She wants access to the pool.
Yeah.
I mean, we know all we need to know as far as she's concerned, right? If we ever wish to parlay with her again, then all we need is access to the pool, and I'm sure that'll be a good enough bargaining chip to get whatever we need. I think we can just take off before we get any deeper into her clutches.
Well, right, but what I'm concerned about, Nathaniel, is we and her are all from different times. Would this fuck up like whatever the future is gonna be if she's here? Is that why all these things are spawning like in on that mountain? That weird whistling thing?
And
mean-
what are the odds that she takes us back to our time?
I don't fucking know.
But do you think we're going to get answers to any of those questions from her?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go reconvene with the group and perhaps have an hour's rest to think on this, and come back.
Jethris will say sort of loudly near this crow that's on the table. Well, I think that Miss Helda was very hospitable and very, very nice and, very helpful. So, there's that. But yeah, I agree. If you want to talk with the group, then we should. And we'll lean away from the crow again.
I mean, we can leave her a note here, thank her for her hospitality. Tell her we went to talk over her proposition with our comrades.
I tried the door.
I think the birds will tell her.
The door does not open regulars as you tried at first. And then it does. As out of the door, Hilda comes out so soon, looking much more different before she turns into her form. Out so soon. I'll wait for you to be done, then.
Alright.
by the way, in case if it wasn't clear, when Hilda was hag handling Zafira, Regulus had that look of he wants to burn the whole fucking house down on his face, but he let that go.
Was it apparent enough for Jethris and Nathaniel to notice? Would you say?
Okay, he did definitely looked unhappy with the circumstances of their meeting that hag, especially when she was hanging Zafira by her tail.
Kind of like a "don't touch my dog" situation.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Okay.
And when we get out, Regulus will say, "Why don't we have a conversation? A very long, equidistant away from crows."
Oh, alright.
Yeah, maybe we can just head back down the mountain. I think we pretty much know everything we need to know as far as this old hermit is concerned. We can fill you guys in, Zeke, Judas, if you'd like. How's that blood whiskey, by the way?
It's fucking awful. But it does the job.
He's good.
A little bit of filling in wouldn't hurt.
Maybe a bit more whiskey, less on the blood.
Jethris will look around for crows as they walk down the mountain.
You see, this is a comment on Kaz. What matters is the initial treatment of the dog.
See.
Yeah, once we get a decent way away, can I do a perception check as well and see if I see any potential familiars like crows, perhaps?
Go for it.
All right, give it a shot.
I don't want to talk while Odin's listening to us.
DC 31.
Make me a medicine check, Nathaniel.
Medicine check? Okay.
Yeah. I'll explain.
All right, this one I don't think has advantage. Normal medicine check. Here we go. 13, not spectacular.
Not at the very least, but it is noticeable enough to notice that it's not very apparent. Like it happens unconsciously, subconsciously, nearly. You do see Jeff kind of just feeling with his tongue towards his teeth a little bit. He's making those small movements. Jethros, it happens nearly without you realizing again and again as you kind of get a taste for it, as you constantly seem to be trying to feel the inside of your teeth with your tongue. You do notice that a lot, but you do not notice Nathaniel any raven in the nearby vicinity. You do notice the hobgoblin that seems to be a little bit further, keeping an eye towards you as you are making your return. Or awaiting your return.
Jethros, do you mind... Sorry, go ahead, Regulus.
Oh, no, you go.
Jethros, I know this is probably not a fantastic question, but do you mind if I take a look at your teeth real quick?
What? Is something caught up in it?
I just want to make sure you're all right. I'm just a little bit
if there's
concerned.
something in my teeth, just let me know.
I mean, just to, when I take a look at Jethros when he's speaking, is he missing a tooth?
You would have to make a very, very good perception for that, because when he's speaking, it's very, very hard to notice.
Okay.
Jethros will open his maw wide with his razor sharp teeth.
Obviously, if he opens his maw open wide, you will notice a missing teeth. Not a missing, a broken.
I see. Okay. I say, I can probably mix a cap for that, Jethris.
Wait,
It
what's
wasn't.
wrong?
It was, in fact, your tooth that broke when you were
What a
eating that stew.
fucking bitch. My fucking tooth.
She kept it, didn't she?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing of
Okay.
ours that she's taken.
Yeah, so let's make sure she's not working any horrible magics on Jethris here. But I can make a pumice. Is it sting? Does it hurt at all?
Does it sting? I didn't notice it. And I don't have many things in this world, but it took away my perfect smile and fuck.
You took one of your canines.
I
Yeah, it's
assume
probably one of
Kazan
I
that
would
I
say
can't
canine,
feel
but
it. It's not something I can feel because I didn't notice it. That's what I'm gonna assume because I can't hear you, Kazan.
Sorry, what did you say? Sorry, I dozed off for a moment looking at the description of something anyway.
Okay. Jethris didn't feel it, right? He was just licking at the back of his teeth, right?
Pretty much, not really at first glance. Like, it was hard to notice.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I didn't feel shit, but fucking broke my smile. What a fucking witch.
Regulus is gonna hear about that and sort of just Nathaniel.
Yeah. Yeah, as you're speaking with Nathaniel, you probably see him pulling out some like oils like clove oil and oregano oil, as well as some small powders out of his pack and like mixing a paste with some wax. But please continue. What do you say?
Can I talk to you for just a minute? Over
Oh.
here, like over here.
Sure. I can do this privately. What's up?
He's like probably most definitely spying on us through Jethers, right? That's what hags do.
I mean, she can probably scry on us. Yeah.
Right. We can't really have a big group conversation on anything to do with her if we are
Well,
with
we for sure should. We should just have two. One with Jethris and then a real one without him.
Right. Just as a point, as much as the hobgoblins were a bit hostile towards us, they had a very point to point, cut and dry job. Whereas the hag, she has a very blurred line, very mixed set of goals that are likely not very good, and I feel like she's probably here for some reason.
Well, yeah. Please continue.
I just think that perhaps a she obviously has something to get everyone back, but she can't reach the spot in order to get us all back because there's a horde of hobgoblins guarding it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a bad idea? And just want to point this out: the hobgoblins don't seem to be affected by this whole scenario, as they are natives to this area, plane, time, whatever have you. So maybe persuading them to leave or to at least all uproot for a moment, so that we could lure her into a position where we can obtain the item that we need from her,
Mm-hmm.
and the hobgoblins can either keep their spot or do what they need to do. Because
I mean,
I don't trust the hag as far as I can throw her.
I mean, if she's not powerful enough to kill those hobgoblins, then we could probably take her, first of all. But also, we never agreed to kill the hobgoblins. We left without agreeing to that. We do know that all she really needs is access to the pool, right? But also, I'm wondering if whoever it is that she has imprisoned in her basement isn't who we really need to be speaking to.
Right. And, yeah, I know she wasn't asking us to murder them. She was just asking us to get them out of there. But I have a feeling that they aren't going to take very kindly to us trying to get them to move, which might end up in violence. I don't want to do that, but I don't know of any convincing way to get them to move likely.
I mean,
But
other than the fact that the war chief has men who are cursed, and that the hag, either by us killing her or via her own means, can lift the curse on his men. There is also whatever the warband's actual mission objective is, right? I mean, those hobgoblins, they have some sort of war objective as well. So, if we can also, maybe if we can determine whatever it is that the warband was convened to accomplish, maybe something like that, we could use that as leverage as well. Hello? I can't hear you guys. Are you
Oh,
talking?
it's just me now talking.
There's a
I was muted.
awkward pause. Okay, go ahead.
It's a very delicate situation that we have to dance around. And I'll follow whatever idea you have, because you seem to know more about Fae and monsters and other such things.
I'm a little bit familiar with the Unseelie court. Fey magic is surprisingly less complicated than it seems. Although it can be complicated, it mostly operates on the principle of retribution, for the most part. So,
Though this changes nothing that you said, Nathaniel, just keep in mind, hags in particular are never part of either the Silly or the Unsilly court. For there is a single qualification that you need to be either in the Silly or the Unsilly court. You have to be actually pretty, and hags are the exact opposite of that.
okay. So hags aren't in either. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I kind of nod to Regulus and I say, I mean, I think we have a fair amount of options in front of us, but let me get this filling on Jethris, so there's no infection in his tooth. And I'm gonna head over and try a medicine check on Jethris's broken tooth, just to put. I think I would have mixed like some antiseptic oils and some wax and like some zinc powder, and made like a little, put a little like
For sure will get
temporary
not infected. It's not like you put an extra bridge in there, but for sure it will not get infected, and that was what Nathaniel was after. So.
Does the color match? My poor
I don't know what color zinc powder is. Let's see.
White.
It's white. Yeah, so I guess it's a white powder.
It's kind of grayish, to be fair, as I'm googling that.
Hey, Zeke. My teeth are perfectly white. Everything else is on Jethris is dirty, but his smile, stunning.
That's all he's got going for him.
Yep.
I kind of will whisper to Regulus, though. I guess we have to talk to everybody else alone, though.
Yeah, it's should we both take two different sides? Talk to people individually.
Jethris, I say, striking up a conversation with Jethris, and I say, did you attend Bard College?
Bard College? Yeah. Bit more southern or I think west. Yeah. It costs a lot of money to fucking go to college. You know that?
It does. I dropped out myself.
Holy shit, man. My parents went in a lot deep to get there, to get me there.
And I kind of walk off with Jethris, asking him questions about his times in college to get Zeke and Regulus and Judas and Shatrix some alone time.
As they go back, or as they start walking away a bit, Regulus will walk over to the rest. So we have a little bit of a moral quandary situation. We can't really speak freely around Jethris right now, or honestly, especially about the hag, because we've kind of run to the conclusion that we shouldn't really trust her. There is a very high likelihood of problems arising if we are to fully go out a deal with this hag. She would like the hobgoblins removed from the spot where they're at so that she can help us, in quotes, get back to our time, which I doubt very much. No deal with Fae is ever so cut and dry, and essentially, the current potential idea, to see what you guys think, is to go back to that hut and talk to, or try to rescue, whatever is in the basement of her hut, which seemed to be very eager to try and get out. It could be a monster, and she could be very right in telling us that it was bad, or it could be something that's potentially going to get us out of here. Heck, maybe it's even one of the monks. Maybe it's Master Elron. Who knows?
Judas kind of looks at Zeke. Well, they had some interesting conversations, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot to take in. I'm a bit confused here. We're not helping the hag.
No.
Yeah. So basically, it comes down to this: is you guys were diplomats, so to speak. You went in there, you made a deal, or sorta. But you've decided that, technically speaking, deal was not in good faith, and we are now going back to burn her out of the house, so to speak.
We were originally propositioned by the hobgoblins to deal with her, and she countered with dealing with them, not violently, I may add, but I don't really think the ends justify the means, because we don't know where she wants to go, we don't know why she's here, what she intends to do when she gets where she goes, and we don't even know if she's going to bring us back to where we need to be, and then just promptly gallivant off away from us. It's obvious she can't deal with the hobgoblin threat alone.
I mean, what we know, though, it's some kind of item in her possession that'll get us home, right?
Right.
So we don't need her
I
alive for that.
I think
Also,
it might.
also just pointing out the fact that she has all these familiars who are crows that are currently looking at us.
No, we're far away from that. Nathaniel checked already.
Oh,
We're
that's good.
we're
I
halfway
thought
down the
I had
mountain.
a crow. I thought I heard I thought I heard some crow go off, but must have been a while ago. No worries.
I think it's probably at this point Nathaniel reaching into Jethro's mouth to fix the tooth that she stole from him.
So, what, we're going back up, beating the bloody shit out of her, getting the fuck out of here.
I think that's what he's saying, Zeke. Another swig before we go.
We're going right now, yeah, fuck it, get some.
Oh yeah, here you go.
I use prestidigitation to change the flavor of that to something less irony.
I know that was you, mate, but I actually appreciated this one time. That was a little bit better. Still feels a bit weird in the tongue, though.
Especially after somebody uses a bit of magic, eh? It kind of looks at Regulus because, technically speaking, it's still a spell. So there's a verbal. There's still something he has to wiggle his fingers a little bit.
I was just making the thing taste different. I mean, you can't be suspicious of me casting every spell.
Well, yes, I know what it tastes like. So, okay, let's go then. He flips the sword on his shoulder, kind of like resting it on his one shoulder, and turns around. So we're going back the other way, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's start walking, Zeke. I'm sure Regulus will go and get the other two.
Regulus will walk back over towards Jethris and Nathaniel, who I have no doubt are talking about the woes of student debt and
They just had all these sort of like electives that you also had to pay extra for, which was kind of fucking bullshit. I didn't need most of them. I don't know why they had me take them.
Man, it's like a cash machine.
For real, it just sucks it right out of you. Still trying to pay that shit back.
Hey guys, speaking of sucking things right out of maybe not tooth. Regulus is not great with words.
No, go on. I really want to hear where that's going.
No, I don't think so. I prefer not to. I think we should probably, for the betterment of your dental health, maybe we should go really see to it that we get that tooth back. And I think we've reached a conclusion on how we're going to help. I think we need to go get her and bring her down, and we can, so that we don't have to make like 3 treks up the mountain.
Jethers just kind of pokes at the nubby tooth and it's like, I guess I'd like that, yeah. If we could do that.
Regulus smiles and nods at both of them, but sort of mostly to Nathaniel. As he begins walking up alongside Zeke, Judas, and Shatrix. Back to the Hag Hut.
As I assume the plan now is go back, go kill, and get the hell out of here.
Go kindly persuade.
Yes. I know. I'm definitely aware that you're going to persuade the hag as you make a U-turn and start moving towards your hut once anew.
I'm going to persuade the hell out of her hut.
So
Fireball.
You will notice that the hut and the outside seems extremely void of any crowd, any raven, anything like those pests in the area. Lone scarecrows stand at the mountaintop as you are making your way toward there once anew, giving you a rather sinister vibe. I think this would be a good place to start the next session, given that we're obviously going for a fight, and might as well have Satrix for it, and hopefully Goel as well, so we can do some serious fighting instead of starting and pausing it very, very soon to the start of it. If everyone's okay with that, that is. That was the
That sounds
bar.
good.
I guess, yeah, that's okay.
That's
I think
fine.
it's a
I
good.
care.
I mean, starting the fight and kind of just cutting it off, it would be very, very hard to feel Cedric's as well. And what the hell is going on besides the
All right, Shatrix. So
something's up.
basically, your
Grab a
lizard guy
sword.
ate some soup and he lost a tooth.
Yeah.
And now we're killing a hag.
But all of that needs stuff
And
combat.
Zeke and Judas were sitting outside, chilling on the mountaintop, talking to Citrix, sharing a bit of blood whiskey, and going, it's like, so, you think they are being eaten alive out there? In there?
I don't see what's going to be confusing about that.
She could have been chewing on a part of Jeffers at the very least.
I mean, they were alive and they were eating, so.
Something along those lines rings true. But yeah, any questions? Anything to add before we call it off?
Oof. Don't know.
Quick question, Jeffers, because I know some of the riddles I used were from my brother's creation, which he used in one of your groups. Were they both that he used against you, or one of them? Because I know that he didn't use every riddle he made, so I had to gamble on which ones to use.
I can't hang on. I can't remember. It was written down. I know one of them was. Yeah, one of them was. I can't. I'd have to look back through the chat. I think it might have been the giant one, and I accidentally blurted it out and ruined it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, no worries, because I had to. I did not know we were conducting Heliocast like that. I had to look it out.
When it was the giant one in my campaign, I also blurted it out because I was really excited that I figured it out super easily.
I see. Go ahead, regular, sorry.
I was also like struggling not to be like, I think I've heard this one before.
Which one?
The Archmagi one.
Oh yeah, that magic was used in your campaigns. I relied on the bad memory of Jeffers for the first two, and then on the potentially not the best memory of that group. I had one more that I didn't use back in Heliocasting when you guys met here, but it was a little hard one and a big one, so I decided not to go for it.
Yeah, obviously my bad memory was perfect on the first one.
But yeah,
I couldn't even remember. I didn't ask that.
You might have not. As I said, I know that my brother created some riddles. I asked him on the spot, please send me those riddles fast. I need them. And I got print screens of them, so I had to work with them.
No, I liked it. The second riddle was interesting. It's like that first riddle was just, I hate that warriors. The problem was the first sentence got me confused. But
to be fair,
everything makes sense.